this man at a particular spot and kill this man and come back by another route. Then he told 4 men to wait to kill the 2. And he asked 8 men to kill the 4, and he asked 16 to kill the 8. So he planned out so well so that there's no evidence linking it to him. So the first man went to where the Buddha was, and he was surprised the Buddha was sitting there waiting for him. The Buddha, most of the time the Buddha meditates and doesn't know a lot of things that's happening in the world. A lot of devas protect the Buddha. So when something like this happens, it's not surprising if the devas will come and warn the Buddha. So the Buddha was sitting there waiting for him. So when he came near the Buddha, this guilty conscience made him tremble. So he threw away his weapons, he knelt before the Buddha and asked for forgiveness. The Buddha said, "Never mind, you sit down here, I will teach you the Dhamma." So that man sat down, and the Buddha taught him the Dhamma. He attained stream entry. And the Buddha said, "You don't go back by this road, 2 men are waiting for you, you go up another way." So he ran off. So these 2 men waited and waited and waited and couldn't wait, and they came. Same thing happened. They came to the Buddha and they started to tremble also. And they also threw away their weapons, and the Buddha taught them the Dhamma. They also attained stream entry. 4 men came, also attained stream entry. 8 men, 16 men, all attained stream entry. So you see, it's not so difficult. But of course, you could have certain qualities. There is a sutta called the Samannapala Sutta in the Digha Nikaya. This Ajatasattu that I just mentioned, he was a very ambitious man. He couldn't wait for his father to die to become the king. So he killed his father. And after he killed his father and he became the king, his mind was so troubled that night after night he couldn't sleep. And one night, it was a full moon night, he asked his physician to bring him to see a holy man. And the physician, Jivaka Kumarabhacha, brought him to see the Buddha. And he asked the Buddha certain questions like what's the point of becoming a monk? What's the benefit of renouncing? And then Buddha explained to him, that's why it's called the Samannapala Sutta, the fruits of the renunciant life. So after the Buddha answered him, he was quite satisfied with the Buddha's answer. And he thanked the Buddha and left. And after he left, the Buddha told his monk disciples, the Buddha said, "Look at this foolish man. To become the king, he killed his father, such a good, just man." And then the Buddha said, if he did not kill his father, tonight I could have taught him the Dhamma and he could have attained Dhamma Chakku, the vision of the Dhamma, that is, become a stream enterer. So you see, such a person, because of creating evil karma, the mind is disturbed. And such a person, even if you were to teach him the Dhamma, he cannot have Yoniso Manasikara. The second condition for right view is proper attention, careful attention. As a person with a disturbed mind, he cannot keep a focus. He cannot focus his mind and listen. So you can see from here that sila is very important. If a person does not keep good sila, he cannot understand the Dhamma. He cannot focus his mind. And there are also other people like Devadatta. Devadatta, he was a disciple of the Buddha, a Sama Sambuddha, and he practiced until he had attained psychic powers. And yet, he did not attain right view. Why? Because of his mana, conceit, ego. He was an ambitious person. He wanted fame, he wanted name. And such a person, a conceited person, and he follows a teacher, and the teacher teaches him, gives him some instructions. He thinks he already knows. Such a person, when he's given instructions, he won't listen properly. There were other monks like this during the Buddha's time. It's mentioned in the suttas. Buddha, for example, rebuked one monk. He said, I notice much of the time when I taught the Dhamma, you were not paying attention. So if a person is not paying attention, and when the teacher teaches the Dhamma, how can he understand? So he cannot achieve right view. So Devadatta is another type of person who has a big ego and cannot listen to the Dhamma properly. Then there are other people when they come to a monk, either he's not interested to listen to the Dhamma, or when there's a Dhamma teaching, their mind wanders somewhere else, thinking of all kinds of worldly things because there's no interest. So not everybody, when you teach them the Dhamma, they can get right view. Only they have certain virtues. They are spiritually mature enough. The time has come. They are really interested. Then only they can make progress. So basically, this is what I have to say about right view. Sorry, quite a lot. Now, right view. Why is right view so important? Because you are going to walk a certain path, you have to be able to see clearly. Right? If you don't see clearly, you don't know where you're going. You're going to stumble, you're going to fall into a drain, knock your head against the pole or something. So you've got to have clear vision, that is right view, to see clearly where you're going. So when you have right view, then that will lead you to right thoughts. The way you think is also dependent on your view. So for example, people with wrong views, they can do all kinds of things. They can do atrocious things like kill people in the name of religion and all that. So, right thoughts, we come to right thoughts. Right thoughts in the suttas are said to have three things in it. Thoughts of loving kindness and benevolence towards all beings. Thoughts of harmlessness and compassion towards all beings. And thoughts, thirdly, thoughts of renunciation of worldly pleasures, because you understand that they can lead to pain and suffering. So, when you have right thoughts, you avoid the wrong thoughts of ill will or anger and harming others and greed. So once you have right view and right thoughts, you begin to counteract the three poisons of greed, hatred and delusion. So when you have right thoughts, it leads you to the third factor, which is right speech. Why does it lead you? Because before you speak, you must think, isn't it? You think first, you formulate the thoughts in your mind, then before it comes out, it breaks out into speech. So if when you have right thoughts, then it will lead you to right speech. There are four precepts, four factors in right speech. The first is to abstain from lying and cheating others. Musavada. And then the second is to abstain from malicious speech. Malicious speech is speech motivated by anger. There are two types. One is you hear A talking bad about B, you go and tell B, last night it said this and this about you, and you make the two of them quarrel. What we call in Bahasa Malaysia, batu api. So that is malicious speech, one type. Another type is to slander people. You don't like somebody, you say all the bad things about that person without any real evidence. Then the third is to abstain from coarse speech, vulgar language, speaking loudly and all that. And in other words, you speak gentle words. And the fourth is to abstain from frivolous gossip, wasting time. So the Buddha said that the well-spoken word has five factors. Firstly, it's truthful. Secondly, it's beneficial talk. Thirdly, it's spoken gently.